Hey everyone, my name is Liz Rodriguez. I'm the Video Communications Manager here at FBA. And with me, I have Jay Souza. He is the Director of Recreation and Wellness at the University of South Florida. He's been in the industry now for over 30 years, and he's had the opportunity of opening 5 major facilities within his career, as well as both working on the trainer side as well as the management side during his career. So we're going to be speaking to him today just about his experience about adding SportsArt fitness equipment into his facility. So welcome, Jay. How are you doing?
Oh, great. Thank you, Liz. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here today.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna jump right in. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit more about, how you came to be working at USF?
Let's see. Well, I traveled the country, east, west, north, south. Started at Rhode Island, bounced out to Ohio, came back to Connecticut, went back to Rhode Island, went out to Las Vegas, came back to Long Island at Stony Brook, and here I am. Along the way, I've acquired degrees, a lot of certifications, and had the pleasure of opening up 5 major centers on college campuses, and then a new health club too in Connecticut. Was a consultant for a time, helping other gym owners open their places up. And on the side, worked as a consultant for master trainers, train trainers at local clubs and gyms, did health coaching, and NCAA strength coach for the colleges I worked at. So been around a while, love the field. I'm a little more separated now, but that's okay. Let the fitness people handle the fitness stuff. So here I am.
Absolutely. And why don't you just talk a little bit more about your facility and where it is on campus and the size of it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, USF, one of the attractive features was it's Florida. Grew up in the Northeast. I'm all done with the winter. And then we are, I think, the 8th or 9th largest college in the country. We've got 51,000 students. So our rec center is very big, but I also have 2 satellites on campus. I have 3 field complexes, a fitness trail, and I have a riverfront park that we have to manage with boats, challenge courses, etc. My daily usage is somewhere in the range of 3,000 to 5,000 per day. And if I include the outdoor spaces, then you're looking more like 4,000 to 7,000 per day. So we get a very high volume of traffic. Everything from obviously the fitness as you and I know it, but we also have open rec like basketball, badminton, volleyball. We have pools. We have 5 group fitness rooms. We have a dedicated cycling room. We have outdoor rec with equipment. We have sport clubs, intramural sports, you name it. We've got a little bit of everything, but that's what the college student today demands. And down here in Florida, I will say that health and wellness is a priority. It is 12 months a year. Even in our Florida winter, when it gets down to the 60 degrees, maybe less sometimes, that's when people put on the winter jackets, but they're still active. It's a lot of activity down here. So that's kind of a nutshell of what our campus is, a very vibrant place to be, and the students demand and have access to multiple different options for fitness and wellness activities and opportunities. So they do take part.
Very cool, very cool. And talk to me about, when you started working with SportsArt, why you sort of found their equipment interesting.
Yeah, I want to say I started back when I was up Stony Brook in Long Island. Let me try to attach a year to this. I don't want to mess this up. I want to say it was 2017 or 16 is when I first was introduced to, at that time, the president of the corporation. And I thought it was fairly unique, a unique product. I figured, let's try a few pieces. I didn't get that many. I think I got 4 pieces or 6 pieces because I did like the feature that puts energy back into the grid. And I thought that would be a really cool thing for the students. Kind of my experience. And also I was intrigued by the simplicity of their machines and understanding that process in terms of, we're kind of going back a bit, but it makes sense for repair, maintenance, and durability piece.
Yeah, absolutely. And talk to me a little bit about, the members' feedback. They may not know, about all the great environmental features of SportsArt, but just the overall, kind of their experience with the equipment.
The people I've interacted with and spoke to were very intrigued and wanted to know, well, how does that work? And that sounds really neat. Let me get on there. So they were pretty excited to see how much power they actually generate. And that's always fun to see. You imagine yourself being a mouse and you're in the wheel and you're powering things. And
Mhm.
a few companies over the past 15 years have been able to successfully do that. I know a few different companies have tried to do something similar, but didn't quite work out the way they wanted to. And SportsArt seems to have it pretty well established at this point because they have the inverters included as part of their machinery. So um, it's a nice feature, and people seem to like it.
Very cool. So talk to me a little bit about maybe any programs or events that you've been able to, add after having the equipment.
Sure. Once it was last April, we ran our first event during the Earth Week time, where we had people get on the machines for a while. We tracked what they did and what kind of energy they put back into the system. So that was fairly successful. I think we're going to try something again for this April to see if we can get something larger scale going. And you can actually see your usage on the screen. We have a big screen that all the machines are connected to, and you can see how much you're actually doing at that time. I think there are other features that we can include, like a competitive component if you wanted to see who's going to generate more power at the amount of time you have, or there is a leaderboard embedded so you can see who generated the most power this month, this year, et cetera, et cetera. So there are a lot of features there. It's just we have to create the programming for it. It's
Mhm.
not so. And I do have dedicated staff um, that maybe we can potentially do something again this spring. We're looking forward to trying something else. So they also do other events too. So this is a great supplement to what we already offer.
Yeah, absolutely. And, last question for you today, what would you say to other studio owners that may be considering, purchasing sports art equipment?
They're easy to work with. The customer service is great. I've been working with them. They respond very quickly. If there's ever an issue, feel free to contact them freely. Because as an owner and an operator and manager, it's always the customer service component. How if something happens, how fast are you going to fix my stuff? Because I don't like to have things down for very long. But
Yeah.
also the attractive feature of what actually can save me money on utilities.
Hmm.
Granted, you're not gonna. It's not solar power, but it is going to help while someone's using the machine. It actually deflects some of the energy being used by the other machines, and that's how it's utilized. We can't store the energy, but while it's in use, it's actually energy that you're not using from other machines at that time. If the energy being generated is covering the difference, which is great. So it's a nice feature. Plus, you'd be pretty creative with the programming of it if you wanted to create, like I said, competitions or events around. Who's gonna light the house for a day, or who's gonna generate the most power for the week, things like that.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Jay, I want to thank you for your responses and stuff today. This was really great.
My pleasure.
Yeah. And for those of you guys watching, if you're looking for more information about sports art, just go ahead and fill out the brief web form under the About Sports Art section, right, right from where this case study is playing. Until next time, everyone, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you very soon.